Hello there, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Milky Awards 2010. I know you're all very excited, not least that you're actually getting them in December this time, rather than having to wait until the spring of the following year. We've done a bit better than the various Brexit deadlines this year, at the very least. Now, it's been a very exciting year in the Milkies. We've scrapped Remainer and Brexiteer of the year, introduced two new categories of lockdowner and anti-lockdowner just for the coronavirus, and Crank of the Year, I think, is a new one as well. This is the first Milky Award stream where we've actually got guests on to get their live reactions of the winners of each of the categories. Joining us at the moment is James Fielding, Thomas Williams, and John Cooper. Hello, folks.
Hi.
Hello,
How are we doing?
Swift.
Hello.
Long time we've not spoken a while. All of what, 10 minutes?
Forever, doesn't it? Yeah. And we've got you here in the flesh, James Fielding.
Why not? I decided to hire out. I purchased a laptop over lockdown, so I thought I'd make use of it. So why not? Hi.
Hi.
Just hi.
Oh, this is exciting.
I'm just the nervous energy of maybe winning an award. What can I say?
Exactly. Yeah, you're up for. You made it to the finals of Stream Guest of the Year. Much like myself, I was nominated by the viewers because for most of this year I had no stream guests. So there we have it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of the awards for this year's Milky. So we have Lockdowner of the Year, Anti-Lockdowner of the Year, Rising Star, Non-Entity, Gammon of the Year, Snowflake of the Year, Crank of the Year, Politician of the Year, International Politician of the Year, Biggest Loser, Biggest Winner, Stream Guest, and Side Chatter. Oh, all right then. So, without further ado, shall we get on to the first award?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Yep. Do it.
All right then. So our first award is Lockdowner of the Year. Politicians or public figures that have been ostensibly pro-lockdown during the coronavirus pandemic. After the nominations were in, we had a rather large field to choose from. There was Piers Morgan, Keir Starmer, Nicola Sturgeon, Mark Drakeford, Matt Hancock, Chris Whitty, and Boris Johnson. Now, how shall I do it? Shall I do it in reverse order? Least votes to most votes.
Yeah, I'd
Go on
say
then.
that's probably the best.
Go ahead.
Build attention.
Okay.
Why not?
So there's a four-way tie for last place. The four-way tie for last place on 9.8% of the vote is Boris Johnson, Matt Hancock, Keir Starmer, and Nicola Sturgeon. Next up in third place. Next up in third place on 12.2% of the vote is Chris Whitty.
Oh,
In
that's the guy who I
second
voted for.
place-
Bastards.
Is that the one you voted for?
I voted for Chris Whitty. Yeah.
Or piss shitty, as some of the people in Bullet have been taken forward. In second
Piss
place
Shitty and
on-
Patrick Vallas is what they're called. But go on.
Right, okay. In second place on 22% of the votes, and keep in mind this is first past the post. Whoever gets the most votes wins. You don't have to get 50%. In second place on 22% of the votes is Piers Morgan, which means in first place and winner of Lockdown of the Year on 26.8% of the votes is Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford.
Disgrace.
That's who I voted for.
Mark Drake. Well, I mean, he did decide that the best thing about Mark Drakeford is probably why he won it is because his ideas of a lockdown was to not close the pubs, but not allow to serve alcohol in them, and close them at 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
And you can't forget the amazing rules on non-essential items in supermarkets, can you?
Oh God, yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They put up big barriers in supermarkets to non-essential areas, and the only places you could shop are the food aisles.
Mm-hmm. In many ways, you probably also got it because all the Labour voters that are in your streams or follow you, Swiss, were probably too annoyed at Keir Starmer at the time to vote for him. But hey,
Possibly. It's always fun to try and think of the political motives of who's voted how. So what I'm going to do after the stream, by the way, is I'm going to send out tweets from my Twitter account tagging each winner of each award in, going, Mark Drakeford, well done, you've won so-and-so, and we'll see if we can get any replies.
let's see. The person who I nominated for was Andy Burnham, because I think he was getting quite popular during in the North at the time.
Good old Andy, King of the North. I hope he wins next time with about 70% of the vote.
I'm just not going to respond.
Okay. we know it's been a long and fraught relationship between you, Andy Burnham, James, hasn't it?
Indeed. He's up for election next year, so I wish him the best of luck.
So out of curiosity, would you be happy to be rid of Andy Burnham, but in exchange he becomes Prime Minister?
No, because I won't want him to do that to the country. Do it to Manchester all he wants, but don't want him to disrespect the great British Isles. But anyway, I don't want to rant about Andy Burnham because I could go on for days.
We'll move on to the next award. But hello to Robin, who's joined us in the stream as well. Okay, then. So the next one we're on to, guys, is anti-lockdown of the year. This is the politician or public figure that the voters believe has been most effective and vocal in their opposition to the lockdowns during the coronavirus pandemic. And after the nominations, our finalists for anti-lockdown of the year were Piers Corbyn, brother of Jeremy, Peter Hitchens, Nigel Farage, and Lawrence Fox. And again, in reverse order. In fourth place, with 10% of the vote, was Lawrence Fox. In third place, with 12.5% of the vote, was Nigel Farage. In second place, with 35% of the vote, was Piers Corbyn, which makes Peter Hitchens the winner on 42.5.
Get in. I won.
Let's see.
Sir Keir Starmer, the well-known Trotskyist.
Let's see. For me, I nominated no one because I'm against anti-lockdown in general. But and most of the people are crazies. And most of the people that were supporting the anti-lockdown were crazy. Sorry.
I don't actually remember who I voted for anti-lockdowner of the year, to be honest. Probably.
I believe.
Down.
I'd probably put Piers Corbyn, mostly because I didn't want to vote for a right winger. I nearly voted Peter Hitchens, but I voted Piers Corbyn as a lesser of two evils kind of thing.
That's transparently political there.
The great name of Ben My Dick Cumbersnatcher says, a Corbyn can never win, and he is totally correct. Though he can probably claim it as a moral victory finishing second. I remember another Corbyn doing the exact same. But anyway.
Now, I will say, as I saw all the results coming in, it looked for a long time that Piers Corbyn was going to win anti-lockdown of the year. It was the last batch of votes that came in that just swung it towards Peter Hitchens. So maybe I'll be lucky enough that when I announce that he's won, he'll give me a nice quotes tweet on Twitter telling me to bugger off because he's not interested. Hopefully.
Did you see his interview in Owen Jones a few days ago?
Peter Hitchens and Owen Jones. Oh God, there's an anime crossover. No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. I think Peter Hitchens talked a little bit about how many of Blair's former cabinet were part of these Trotskyist groups, and they've been erasing that history of their past, or something like that. But hey, since most of them were on the radical left before they became Blairites or something.
We've got 15 people watching at the moment as well, which is quite exciting. So you lot out there, I know you're all very excited. Drop the stream a like if you're enjoying it. Quite a few people were going, come on, Piers, for anti-lockdown, but George Hayes is happy with Peter Hitchens at least. Are you ready for the next one, folks?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is Rising Star of the Year. And after the nominations, we only had 2 candidates. There were only 2 people nominated that received 2 or more nominations each. And that was Rishi Sunak and Nadia Whittome. Now, I wasn't even that aware of Nadia. She's a newly elected Labour MP. Is that right?
Yeah, she was elected in the 2019 general election. And I guess according to the people that watch the stream, she's a rising star, but I think she's a bit of a non-entity myself.
You disapprove by that? Yeah.
I think, I believe she's regarded as. I believe she's regarded as the new female Dennis Skinner by some.
Is she the new oh Christ, what's her name? What was that young female Labour MP who lost her seat, but many people saw her as Corbynite? What was her name?
Laura Pidcock.
Laura Pidcock. Is she the new Laura Pidcock, basically?
Possibly, kind of. I mean, I would say she's a lot more pragmatic and gets a lot more cross-party support than Pidcock did. So, who knows?
Well, Laura Pidcock pretty much said she'd never befriend a Tory, so there's that.
It's funny to see Laura Pidcock go from darling of the left to public enemy number one of the left because of supposed transphobia that really wasn't transphobia, it was just ignorance, but cancelled because, of course.
Let's not get dangerously off topic here. Anyway, so it was Nadia Whittome and Rishi Sunak, and probably will come as little surprise to you folks, or at least what I was expecting. Second place, 28.2% was Nadia Whittome. Rishi Sunak ran away with Rising Star on 71.8%, and certainly considering he was a year or so ago a relative nobody, and now the Chancellor, and as far as polling is concerned, one of the most popular politicians, or at least cabinet politicians in the country, comes as little surprise, I suppose.
I would say.
Not to mention, some would say he'll be our next Prime Minister, but go on, Tom.
No, I was about to say that if Boris does resign in the coming years because of everything that's happened over the last year or two, it wouldn't be wrong to say or illogical to say that Rishi Sunak is a very likely successor to Boris.
Yeah. Well, I voted for Sunak, and I'd also make him the favourite to be the next Prime Minister.
Let's see, I voted for Nadia Whitman because I'm left-wing, so there.
Well, I mean, if you remember the meteoric rise of Matt Hancock, when he was non-entity one year, rising star another year, and now he's the wonderful public face of the government's woeful response to the coronavirus. So, it just goes to show the Milky Awards is a good avenue for making it in politics. So speaking of non-entity, that's our next award that we've got up here. After the nominations were in, we had 4 nominations making it to the finals. That was Ed Davey, leader of the Liberal Democrats, Jess Phillips, Keir Starmer, and the Lib Dems in general. Now, I'm fairly sure in at least one previous year, the Lib Dems / Vince Cable won it, I think.
Yeah, they did.
What are your predictions for this one, folks? How do you think it's going to go?
Probably going to be the Lib Dems.
Yeah.
I would.
Let's see. It was 2018 or 2017. I voted for I nominated and voted for the Liberal Democrats.
Yeah, I went Jess Phillips. But can I just say something, Swish? You might want to check your super chat. You've got 80 viewers.
You've got 80 viewers, and it looks like.
Oh my goodness!
It looks like you've got a lot of far right people that have joined. You've got people saying things like "White Lives Matter," the 14 words, right-wing news network.
Oh my god!
Oh dear!
You know what? It was the right time to do the Milky. Well, fuck it. 80 viewers. I don't give a shit. If you're giving me money, you can believe whatever you want. Wow. Okay, yeah. We've well and truly been fucking raided.
I have a feeling who might be responsible for the raid, but I'll keep my mouth shut.
What did you do?
No, it wasn't me. I'm just saying a certain other streamer may have done it, but I'll keep my mouth shut on that one. I haven't done anything.
All right, we'll take a look into that in a moment, but we'll carry on with the results for the time being. I don't give a shit. We've got more viewers. I got the super chat. What was the super chat anyway? 30. What is ZAR? What currency is ZAR? The ZAR.
Dinar or some shit? I don't know.
South African rand.
All right. Well, anyway, we had 35 Tsar, whatever they are, saying come on the what was it? The Patriotic Talk Show. I haven't heard of it, but maybe I've been given an invite. And we've got many people spanning White Minority 2066.
Robin sent us.
Robin.
Oh God!
You sly dog. You sly dog. You Robin. You think we wouldn't
Blaming you,
realize?
Robin. Right. Oh my God, we've got nearly 100 viewers. Fucking hell.
So
Okay,
Robin,
right. I'll move
so
us on
Robin-
to the.
I was going to say,
checking.
Robin.
I'm
So Robin,
screenshotting
We're going to have a word in a minute, Robin.
Notorious
I'll do
white
the results
supremacists.
for.
so
I'll do the
basically
results
Robin,
from-
after all,
Non-entity
was a secret
anyway.
West.
Let's keep the show on the road, folks. Okay, so non-entity. In fourth place on 9.8% of the votes was Sir Keir Starmer. In third place on 12.2% of the votes is Jess Phillips. In second place, Ed Davey with 29.3% of the votes, which means that the winner of non-entity of the year with a staggering 48.4%. Now, 48%, where have I seen that number before? Is the Liberal Democrats. So, congratulations to
yay.
them. James, as our representative of the Lib Dems on the panel, would you like to offer an acceptance speech for them?
Well, I'd like to say thank you. It's probably the only thing we're going to win this year, or probably the only thing we're ever going to win.
What about that council? What about the council by-election?
Well, I mean, apart from council by-elections, just forget about. I mean, we probably can't even win them nowadays. But yes, thank you for voting for the Liberal Democrats and under Ed Davey's leadership, and we will continue to win more.
My God, the fucking side chat is on fire right now. Right, okay. Moving onwards then, the next one we have is Gammon. Look, here we go, you fucking far-right bastards. We've got one for you. It's Gammon of the Year, get ready. Gammon of the Year. Gammon of the Year, Robin. Gammon of the Year. Okay, after the nominations are in, we had 5 finalists, which were Donald Trump, Sammy Wilson, Keith Starmer, interesting distinction from Sir Keir, Mike Gates, because he makes his way into fucking everything in the Milkies, and Peter Gammon, the UKIP candidate for the Mayor of London next year. All right, so in 5th place for Gammon of the Year was Mike Gapes.
What?
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Controversy.
Rigged. Stop the count.
Scandalous.
In 4th place was Keith Starmer on 14.6%. In 3rd place on 17.1 was Sammy Wilson, who reminds me, is that an Irish politician?
Yeah, he's a DUP politician who supported an ethnic cleansing, so I'm pretty sure the chat will the chat will love him.
Right. In 2nd place on 22% of the vote was Donald Trump, which means our runaway winner, 34.1% of Gammon of the Year, is UKIP candidate Peter Gammons. So,
Wait,
Congratulations.
I just want to quickly say before it goes, a guy in the chat called Jim Bob said the Lib Dems are nonces. At least we've got some sense in the chat.
Rude.
But yeah,
Absolute
I think
rude.
it was obvious. I think it was going to be obvious who would win Gammon of the Year when you had someone. Okay. Are you done, Mr. Fielding, or are you going to complain about this with the Gammon of the Year being rigged because Mike Gapes didn't win?
Well, I would like to check the postal
anyway,
ballot, to be fair.
As I was about to say, I think it was no surprise that, let's see, the one that had the surname. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, I think it was obvious that the person who would have Gammon as their surname was probably going to win it.
I mean, it makes enough sense, doesn't it? But maybe we should rename it to the Peter
Huh?
Gammons Gammon of the Year Award from now on.
The Peter Gammons Honorary Award.
Okay, so our next one is Snowflake of the Year, and we had 4 finalists for this one, which were Owen Jones, Ben Bradley, Nigel Farage, and Piers Morgan. In 4th place, and this was very split, by the way, this one was very close. In 4th place on 22.5 was Uncle Nige. In joint 2nd stroke 3rd place was Owen Jones and Ben Bradley. which means Piers
I got
Morgan is our Snowflake of the Year.
Oh, I mean, he's an absolute idiot, so I'm not surprised.
I will raise a vegan.
For me, this is probably the most shocking thing, is I actually voted Nigel Farage for once.
I'll raise a vegan sausage roll in his favor.
Well, no, it's mostly because he kept complaining about Brexit and the lockdown, so yeah. I thought it was just
our tidal wave, by the way, our tidal wave of new viewers seem to have left just as quickly as they've arrived. They all jumped in to spam for a little while and drop us about 60 dislikes. Now they've all buggered off for the most part.
Here I was wondering, was Enoch Powell right? And I'm pretty sure the chat has given me that answer 58 times.
Oh, well, my God. Looks like I gotta like your video, Swiss, to try and even out the dislike numbers.
Oh, I don't think there's much hope of that. I think we're well buried in that area.
What fat virgin did you piss off to make this happen?
This will probably set the side chat off the same way to the other time, but who the fuck is Charlie Baked Potatoes?
I don't know. But all I know is that it was Robin that sent all these trolls here.
Listen,
so
innocent and guilty. Okay.
Listen, I never knew that you were such an alt-right icon, Robin. But what do I know?
Notorious white supremacist Robin. You've heard it.
So,
we learned last night how shit I am at being an imposter. So
PUP Canada.
Are we assuming, by the way, that these people were actually sent by the academic agent?
I don't. Probably.
Possibly.
I am 99.9% sure.
How much does he hate you, out of curiosity?
Quite a lot, considering you
seething levels of hatred at the moment. I keep putting about crazy conspiracy theories, such as Joe Biden won the US presidential election, and he finds that very, very contentious. But anyway, what's the next award we've got lined up here? Snowflake. Okay, Crank of the Year. This one's exciting. I know you've all been looking forward to Crank of the Year. All right then. So Crank of the Year. After the nominations are in,
nominated Mike Gape's fanboys for this one.
Mike Gape's fanboys didn't make it through to the finals, I'm afraid. James Fielding can only be in so many award categories, I'm afraid. So Crank of the Year.
Make like the Oscars.
Sorry, Robin, go on.
We should make like the Oscars the way you can't sweep the board.
Oh well,
we should get Kevin Hart to host the Milkies.
We should try and get some celebrity endorsements for next year, shouldn't we?
We should try and get Ricky Gervais in. That's a couple of them.
Yeah, we should make a Ricky Gervais Pones SJWs on the Milky Awards compilation.
Was it Ricky Gervais when he did his speech for some award ceremony last year? He made a joke about Jeffrey Epstein. He goes, "Oh, he didn't kill himself. Oh, I know he was your friend," or something like that.
Yeah, he said, "I know he's your friend. You had to get your own jet here."
Shit. Right, okay, Crank of the Year. So our 5 finalists after the nominations were in for Crank of the Year were Boris Johnson, Piers Corbyn, brother of Jeremy, Genuine News, recent addition to the side chat, Aaron Bastani of Novara Media, and Peter Hitchens.
That was James that voted for him.
See, I voted Genuine News. So go on.
I went with Piers.
Now, we have a 3-way tie for third place, which is Aaron Bastani, Peter Hitchens, and Boris Johnson, which means that the winner of Crank of the Year is either Genuine News or Piers Corbyn. And with bated breath, I can reveal that in second place, on 24.4% of the vote, was Genuine News, which makes Piers Corbyn, brother of Jeremy, our Crank of the Year 2020.
Congratulations. Hey. Corbyn actually won something.
Still one more than Mike Gapes.
Oh
no!
So anyone out there saying that Corbyn isn't electable, well, look, 39% of the vote. That's pretty tasty.
He won the vote. Now he has to win the case.
Freaking
So there we
Piers
are.
Corbyn. Is he not arrested? Is he not in jail, Piers Corbyn? Not
Yeah.
for being
Has
English.
he been
but-
for some
No,
protest
No,
or
he's
something?
not in jail. He got billed 10 grand for breaking COVID rules.
So in other words, anyways, he lost the exact same money Nigel Farage did betting on Trump.
Yeah.
He's been arrested more times this year than we've had lockdowns.
Well, I can't wait to let him know on Twitter and see what he's got to say. I'm hoping that if I just tag everyone who's won an award, I'll get a response from at least someone. That'll be fun.
See, I think if Mike Gates wins one and you tag him, he's probably just going to block you for being a trot.
He's gonna see thanks at James F, and then he'll be like, "That trot! I'm going to block this man too."
Oh,
Guilty by association, like.
see what I have to put up with? Trots.
You're the trot,
Okay,
James.
Moving on then, from Crank of the Year to Politician of the Year, we had 4 finalists, which were Keir Starmer, Nicola Sturgeon, Rishi Sunak, and Mike Gapes. Yeah, because fucking Mike Gapes makes it into everything, doesn't he?
I mean, to be fair, the rest of those nominations are quite shit.
Yeah, it's just down to who gets the most nominations, really, which probably explains why Mike Gapes has had such a strong running in this category. But I'll leave that for the results. So, in 4th place, Politician of the Year, 17.5% was Keir Starmer. 3rd place, or should I say, joint 3rd and 2nd, was Nicola Sturgeon on 22.5%. We have a tie for Politician of the Year. Rishi Sunak and Mike Gapes both on 30%.
They're equally
Yes.
valuable.
You're chuffed, aren't you, James?
You know what, right? I should be actually really chuffed. I am happy that Michael John Gapes has finished joint first, but I actually didn't vote for him in this one. I actually voted for Rishi Sunak. So if I did vote for Mike Gapes, he would have won outright.
James, who do you prefer, Richie Sunak or Mike Gapes?
Oh well, if it was the choice now, it'd be Michael John Gapes.
Okay, Mike Gapes wins. Okay, that's the swing vote right there. Mike Gapes wins. Official.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got 20 people viewing in the chat. For the true winner of Politician of the Year, Rishi Sunak and Mike Gapes, vote now. Rishi Sunak and Mike Gapes. The chat will decide the tiebreaker.
Let's see.
I already know the
Which
answer.
one?
They'll all vote for fucking Mike Gapes, obviously.
Let's see. Before you think of voting for Mike Gapes, think of how upset James would be if he doesn't win.
I will
Okay.
send nudes to anybody that votes for Mike Gapes, and if they want them.
Everyone is saying.
I
Mike
knew
Gapes.
you were a sick. I knew you were a sick pervert, Mr. Fielding.
Okay, like 3 people have said Rishi, and the rest have said Mike Gapes.
Yeah, I think it's leaning Gapes, isn't it? It's leaning Gapes.
A Gapes tilt, if you will.
Well, you know, I am nothing but a Democrat. If the will of the people is Mike Gapes, then the will of the people is Mike Gapes. Politician of the Year, Michael John Gapes.
Well, you could always just go officially Rishi Sunak and Mike Gapes, but for
Let's
Edinburgh,
not
it's
spoil
Mike
the fun.
Gapes.
It's Mike
I mean,
Gapes.
Rishi's one rising star. He doesn't need any more awards, I suppose.
Alright.
Okay, international politician. After the nominations were in, we had 3 finalists: Donald Trump, Jacinda Ardern, and Joe Biden. 3rd place was Joe Biden on 17.1. 2nd place was Donald Trump on 24.4. And the winner with 58.5% was New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Does someone who followed that New Zealand election want to very briefly summarise what happened?
Let's see. I think due to the fact that she did well in handling the coronavirus with the situation in her country, she, I think for the first time since, let's see, New Zealand got rid of first past the post, has won an abs and downright majority for any political party since, then. So, let's see, she's been Prime Minister, I think, for since 2017 or 2016 or something. And she's been the first, and she's also ended up winning a majority now.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair to her, she did do really well with the coronavirus pandemic. Basically,
Yeah.
there are 0 cases in New Zealand. They're all back to normal. Sports stadiums, pubs, restaurants are all back open. And she was the only New Zealand Prime Minister to ever win a majority under their PR voting system. So,
Wow. Okay, so that is quite an achievement then,
I
isn't it?
think
yeah.
Tom, if Tom was here, he'd probably said she's also done something else, which I cannot recall what it was, that made her stick around to be a very well-liked Prime Minister, but I can't recall what it was.
Oh, there was a terrorist attack in New Zealand, the Christchurch terrorist attack. I think that might have been 2018.
Yeah, it was a while back. Like,
But her response to that was well praised. So basically, she carried that on, and obviously, I think the coronavirus pandemic helped more than it did the Christchurch attack. But both of them were great, to be honest. So yeah, a well-deserved winner.
I've just it's just quite funny. It's occurred to me that I think it was literally in the last stream that I did. Someone in the chat joked about me trying to flood AA with my supporters and doing like a pile-on or something, and I'd say no, I don't do that. I'm not the sort of person to encourage my viewers to do that sort of thing. And then today,
But there's one thing I've noticed, let's see, with this particular set of candidates. For once, Trump outpolled Biden.
At least Trump won something this year.
the dislikes just went down another 20.
Well.
Right, so on to biggest loser of the year. There were 3 finalists of the nominations for this one.
I can already tell. I can already tell who's going to win this. I'm just saying.
Can you? Well, there were 3 finalists. We had Donald Trump, Boris Johnson, and the public. In third place, with a pitiful slither of the vote, was Boris Johnson on 4.9%. In second place was Donald Trump on 41.5%. The winner of biggest loser of the year this year has been the public, me and you, on 53.7% of the vote. I'd expected it to be Trump, to be fair, and it looked like it was going to be for a while.
The worst part is I expected it to be Trump, but I'm also pretty sure I nominated the public.
Well, you know, if you're going to vote for someone, yeah, right. So the public are the biggest losers in 2020. What with the coronavirus and all.
Congratulations, all.
Yeah, everyone give yourselves a pat on the back. Well done, you're all losers.
Yeah, now in your CV you can say you're a Milky Award recipient.
So Trump can't even win the biggest loser of the year award.
Stop the count.
Okay, so now on to biggest winner. And this one had quite a few nominees for the voting. We had Joe Biden, Jacinda Ardern, Nicola Sturgeon, Mike Gapes, of course, Amazon, the coronavirus, and Rishi Sunak. Right.
I voted for Biden, but
I went with Amazon.
In joint last place on 2.4% of the vote each.
I went with the New Zealand Prime Minister again.
Joint last place is Rishi Sunak and Nicola Sturgeon, so it's not either of those two. Next above them on 9.8% of the vote was Mike Gapes. In fourth place on 12.2% of the vote for biggest winner was Joe Biden. Okay, joint second stroke third place was the coronavirus on 19.5% and Jacinda Ardern on 19.5%. So the biggest winner of 2020 is Amazon. Jeff Bezos. Yeah.
Pick up that phone because I fucking called it.
So there we are.
Surprised about that one.
Of the year is the public. Biggest winner of the year is Amazon.com.
Oh.
And obviously,
Don't
God
forget-
knows they've had an absolute surge in business this year, haven't they?
Yeah, it's probably one of the only businesses that have had a surge. I mean, Jeff Bezos has actually made more money throughout this pandemic than I think he did it throughout the whole of 2019. I think I saw something ridiculous like that. Anyway,
Well, I'll make sure to let him know on Twitter, and maybe, if he wants to sponsor the Milkies for voting him winner, chuck us a little slice of those billions that he's keeping in the bank. That would be really nice.
Next year's Milky's is going to be on Amazon Prime.
Can you imagine? Next year's Milkies, we might actually get a fucking podium. Who knows? Right, the final two awards we've got for tonight then are Stream Guest of the Year and Side Chatter of the Year. And these are the two awards of the guests and viewers of the Captain Swiss YouTube channel. Now, a little bit of background for Stream Guest. Obviously, this year, for a large bulk of the year, I hardly had any guests on, and that filtered through in terms of who the nominations were. The nominations were James Fielding, Jerry,
thanks.
Captain Swiss, and nobody. So, in fourth place was Jerry on 19%.
Yeah!
I believe I
was
voted
fucking
for
sure
Jerry.
to even be nominated.
Do you have any words in your concession speech, Jerry?
I only had a victory speech, and it was going to be about me, in like sort of something about in strengthening all the minorities by making them work on a fashion brand for me for about less than £1 an hour. Helping the homeless by giving them all chewing gum. All shit like that.
Inspiration.
In third place for Stream Guest of the Year is nobody. So nobody's won. So it's either me or you, James. Are you ready?
Drum roll.
I'm shitting myself.
In second place for Stream Guest of the Year on 26.8% is Captain Swiss, which makes James Fielding the winner on 41.5%.
Congratulations. Thank you, whoever you are.
Do you have any words? Do you have any words to accept your victory, Mr. Fielding?
Fully elected for the office.
I mean, another Lib Dem winning another vote. Astonishing. What can I say? I'd like to thank everybody for voting. No rigging of the election. It was all free and fair. No dodgy postal votes. Lib Dems winning here, 2021.
Well done, Mr. Fielding. And finally, Side Chatter of the Year. Our four finalists after the nominations were Cameron Hickman, Leon King, Sky Echo, and Futurama Fan 2010. And I imagine probably a number of these guys are in the chat right now. So, in fourth place, on 15% of the vote, was Leon King.
Oh, I voted Leon.
It can't all be Lib Dems, James. I'm sorry. We can't all have Liberal Democrats and fucking Mike Gapes winning all of the awards. In third place, on 20% of the vote, was Futurama Fan 2010. So it's either Cameron Hickman or Sky Echo. In second place, on 22.5% of the vote, was Sky Echo, leaving Cameron Hickman as our winner on 42.5%.
I voted for Cameron, so I'm happy.
Same here, I think. I actually can't remember.
Congratulations, Cameron.
Congrats, Cameron. And I think Cameron's in the side chat right now. So I'll wait for him to offer a brief statement on his winning of the award. Congrats. And I'm just loving looking through the side chat at the moment. Like, no matter what award it's been, there's just been people shouting, rigged, recount, have another one.
Stop the count. I would like to check out the postal ballot. It's not for my vote, because my vote was all fair and legit.
Well, you see, if we're only counting the legal votes, Sky Echo won. If it's just the legal votes, it's all those last-minute postal votes that gave it to Cameron. People in the chat saying, congrats, Cameron. People, yeah, I'm just waiting on a word from Mr. Hickman. Well done to you, sir.
I added him in the bullet chat. I'm not sure if he's even in the chat right now.
I don't know. He was earlier on. Wouldn't that be a shame if he's bloody been announced as Side Chatter of the Year and he's missed it? Oh well. Average Joe says burst water pipe. That's all I'll say. Right then, guys. So I'm just going to give a very quick rundown of the winners of this year's awards. So we had Lockdowner of the Year was Mark Drakeford. Anti-Lockdowner of the Year was Peter Hitchens. Rising Star was Rishi Sunak. Non-Entity was the Liberal Democrats. Gammon of the Year was Peter Gammons. Snowflake of the Year was Piers Morgan. Crank of the Year was Piers Corbyn. Politician of the Year was Rishi Sunak / Mike Gates. International Politician was Jacinda Ardern. Biggest loser was the public. Biggest winner was Amazon.com. Stream Guest of the Year was Mr. James Fielding. And Side Chatter of the Year was Cameron Hickman. Another year, another Milkies.
I gotta
No,
say,
we got
Stephen
for
Owen.
21.
So Stephen Owen just said in the chat, stream guest of the year was very rigged, and I gotta say, I agree. Like 4th place, fucking really. I was in 3 whole streams.
Tell it to the courts, Jerry. Tell it to the courts. Right, so that's it. That is the Milky's done for this year. And amazingly, we've actually got it done in December for once, rather than running over months into the following year.
Well, if you
Maybe
did that
with that
switch, you would have had to face another possible vote of no confidence.
And we couldn't possibly have that, could we?
No.
Pineman says better than the Oscars.
That's not really much competition.
Well, you know, we haven't had any woke acceptance speeches, so I suppose that's something. Right, well, that's it done. So what I'm going to do then after this stream, on Twitter, I'm going to do some tweets and tag literally every winner and see if we can get any responses from the politicians that have won. Cameron Hickman in the chat. Oh, Cameron Hickman has popped up in the chat and says, not even AA could stop the count. Spanners, we demand spanners. Oh, shit, yeah, there's a thought. Maybe if I had a moderator team, something could have been done. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. I got a 35 ZAR super chat. I've got no idea how much ZAR is in British money, but I'll take that. Why not?
I looked it up. It's literally less than £2.
Oh well, it can buy me a can of Monster. I'll take that.
£1.75. Congratulations.
I feel that I'm the true winner this year, getting my delicious ZAR.
Congrats. That's like a pack of filters and a pack of skins.
Hey, I'm a man of simple needs. I don't need a lot to get by. Some energy drinks and some cigarettes, I'm fairly happy. Right, so what I'll say then is to all of you lot in the side chat, thank you very much for joining us for the Milky Awards Result Show 2020. I hope some of your picks were ultimately the winners. This is a democratic process. You nominate, you vote. These are your winners. It probably explains why fucking Mike Gates made it into about 3 categories this year, as usual. And of course,
Gates die.
Sorry, what was that?
I was saying, when will this Mike Gapes meme die?
Never.
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 Listen, at the end of the earth, all civilizations will be fallen, but there will always be someone sharing Stop the Extremism videos.
Alright, anyway, Swift, continue with what you're saying, sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say thanks to all the people in the side chat. Congratulations again to Mr. James Fielding, Stream Guest of the Year, and Cameron Hickman, Side Chatter of the Year. And to whoever that random AA troll who gave me 30 ZAR was, cheers. I'll take your money. I don't care.
Cheers to the people accusing me of unfair crimes and fucking libel.
This is the last time. This is probably something that needs to be announced before we go. This is the last time that alt-right figurehead Robin will be appearing on the channel for crimes against Captain Swift.
This is slanderous language.
I mean, Robin, it could have been you. You've always been sympathetic to the apartheid cause.
Only when it suits me, though.
True.
Oh, George Hayes in all caps says, very smart, very smart people are saying the vote was rigged. Very sad. And we've got plenty more on that line.
I think
there's-
ever since this year's election, we're just going to get ritzy people saying rigged votes every year from now on, Swiss.
well, that's the new meme, isn't it? You know, it's the trendy thing to be saying.
Mhm.
And we've got Plyman in the chat requesting a Milky Awards after show. I'm afraid that we've done like a 40-minute stream before this one, and this one's gone on a little while as well. So I am going to be stretching my legs and doing some other things this evening. But we've all had a good bit of fun, I'd say.
Yeah.
Why?
Jolly good. Right then. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye. We'll see you all again for the next Milky Awards in 2021. Oh yes, and the final thing I forgot to announce. I'm going to give like an honourable mention award because I feel that this was something that wasn't quite rectified in the previous years. Back when we had Brexiteer and Remainer of the Year, I think in the 3 years that we had those, Jacob Rees-Mogg won Brexiteer of the Year twice, and Boris Johnson won it once. So I'm going to hand out a Lifetime Brexiteer of the Year Achievement Award to Nigel Farage because I think Mr. Brexit probably deserves one as well.
Boo!
Can you guys think of an equivalent on the Remain side? Someone who's been passed over in the Milkies of the last few years who probably deserves a Lifetime Remainer of the Year award?
How about Femi?
Think of okay. We need to think. Who's the biggest annoying Ramoner we can possibly think of?
Femi?
Well, Lord
Femi's
of
up
the
there.
Rings blocked me on Twitter.
Yeah, Femi. Okay, Femi.
Are we going to say Femi? Fuck it, let's
Well,
say
either
go.
that
or
That gives me
James
a
O'Brien.
chance to that gives me a chance to tag him on Twitter at the very least. So yeah, Nigel Farage, Lifetime Achievement Brexiteer, and Femi, Lifetime Achievement Remainer. You can put that on your mantelpiece. And then right, we really are done.
Guys, James George Hayes just said in chat James O'Brien, and I feel like that's actually a pretty good choice. It'll be the year.
This is getting contentious now.
It'll be the year 2050, and James O'Brien will still be taking calls by mad Brexiteers and being like, "You really think that?" and all that shit.
Right, I'm finishing. I'm ending it now. We're done. Thanks very much for everyone to join. You guys stay here. I'll chat to you off there for a little bit. Catch you all later, folks. Ta-ta.
Bye.